We're not scared of anyone who has invited us to the war. We are here today to accept the war and to accept that we are enemy number one of the white monopoly capital. And we will not be defeated.
Africa is one. Why do you want to extend your territory as a country? For what? Because we want one Africa with one currency, with one military, with one judiciary, with one president of the United Republic of Africa. We need Africa to be bigger in order to fight all of these people.
That's why we will be the most hated people, because we want you not to be treated like monkeys, because you are not monkeys. And anyone who says you are not monkeys is an enemy of those who see you as monkeys.
National shutdown 20 March. We don't apply for nothing. We can't apply for that which is given to us by the Constitution. It is our constitutional right to protest. Tomorrow in Parliament, we call on all members of Parliament to do the right thing. Do not vote against the Constitution in defense of a criminal.
It is white people who must be ashamed of what they've done to us. You cannot turn tables now and want to blame me for the crimes committed by white people. It is a white regime that killed children in 1976. It is the white regime that killed children in the 80s and in the early 90s. It is white people who engaged in the wars of dispossession and forcefully took our land and our cows. Why can't you take responsibility? Why can't you for once just say sorry for the crimes we've committed against you?
She's never here. We must not talk because we're scared to go to jail or being disrespected. It can't be. We have rights, and our rights must be respected. It's a load shedding. We're starting at 11. It doesn't matter what time you start. You start at 1, you start at 2. She's going to be late.
You, of course, have been convicted of hate speech in the past. There was, of course, the whole trial about your use of the Kill the Boer song, which you were responsible and your supporters were responsible for airing many times, and which in the end the courts convicted you of hate speech for using. You actually face new allegations of using hate speech toward white people in the last few months. Do you think that you are responsible for some of the rising tensions in your country today?
If I was responsible for rising tensions in my country today, what you see is picnic. It could have been worse than that if I was commanding it.
There is no song, kill the Boer, kill the farmer. That's a chant. We over-explained it in court. If you have a problem with it, go to the records of the courts. And I won in court. The court said there's nothing wrong singing kill the Boer, kill the farmer. When they favor Helen Zille, we must respect them. When they don't favor Helen Zille, we must not respect them. There is a court decision that must be respected. Those who have appealed it, they must go and fight it in court. We won, and we shall sing this song in line with the court decision. The Court of South Africa, an independent court, has made a declaration on this matter and is closed.
You know, one thing I like about Nigerians is not about these things that you accuse them about. A Nigerian man, if he comes in here and speak, you won't doubt that this man has got confidence. So white people refer to them as being rude. That's why in Nigeria you don't find a lot of white people. Because when you speak to them and they don't hear properly, yes, what do you mean by that? What do you mean? And then you think he's fighting, like, no, he wants to understand what he's not fighting. But you, they taught you that if you don't hear, sorry, sir,
Can you repeat that? So they enjoy that. They enjoy this submissive attitude of a black man because to them you are boys and girls.
The United States of America, France, China, Russia, and United Kingdom convene all 54 heads of states and government for a meeting, and they all go following each other like Casey and Jojo as heads of states to listen to one head of state, 51 of them. Sometimes they disrespect them to a point where they put all 54 heads of states of Africa in a school bus to go and listen to one head of state. I don't know if you'll regret inviting me after this. But my problem is that I tell my truth as is. And I say it to authorities without fear or favor.
I vote no.
I vote no.
The answer is no.
The vote is no.
I vote no.
Angivumi.
As a disciplined member of the ANC, I vote no.
No. No. No. No.
No. No. No.
No. Cha.
With my conscience, I vote no.
No.
Cha. Angvum.
Uno omkhulu.
Someone said, we are the kingmakers. We are not the kingmakers. We are the king. It must be exposed for what it is. It's a kiss between DA, Steenhuisen, and Herman Mashaba. They are kissing each other. The same way Helen Zille kissed Mampela Rampela. And then Mampela Rampela died from that poisonous kiss. With poisoned thin lips.
When we were fighting the whites, and then when we arrived here, we defeated them. Right? But then we defeated them here, then we settled here.
Julius Malema will go down as one of the African heroes. Julius Malema, he had influenced the whole entire generation because the men have revolted the whole Africa youth. Julius Malema have write a history which will remain for generation to generation who will have to come and read this history. Let us appreciate and recognize those who are doing good for Africa. We don't need to wait for them until they die in order for us to throw them the flowers. But let us do so while they're still alive so that we can encourage them and encourage even more other Africans who are fighting for the advantage of African people. What was the 2023 in South Africa politics? How was the year 2023 for Julius Malema? Well, in this video, we had prepared for you some of the actions, big actions, when it comes to South Africa politics or when it comes to the international politics, especially when it comes to Africa continent politics. We will have a close look on what Julius Malema have taken his actions in this year, since we are doing the year 2023 wrap up. Today, we prepare for you Julius Malema as South African politician who have a big impact in Africa continent, including even the whole world. Without delay, let us get to it. Number one, Julius Malema did give an warning to the President of the Republic of South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa. After he became the President of the Republic of South Africa in the parliament, Julius Malema gave him a friendly warning after they had removed Jacob Zuma in the seat. And then it was about time Julius Malema tried to talk to President Cyril Ramaphosa before everything's become sour.
Comrade President, we congratulate you. And we hope that you will be a president of a corrupt-free government, and you will not subject yourself to views of factionalism. There are people who thrive through patronizing presidents. They tell you all you want to hear. And as a result, you are unable to make informed decisions because you surrender yourself with praise singers and yes men and yes women. I've seen young men and women from the benches of the ANC. Maybe it is time to consider them so that they can come to you with fresh ideas, with new ideas, and if they don't like positions, they will be able to be honest with you. You need someone who's going to be honest with you. The position you occupy needs someone who's going to be honest with you, because those who failed were told many a times that they are right even when they were wrong. Even when the Constitutional Court said to them, you are wrong. Even when the Public Protector said to them, you are wrong. Those around them kept on telling them they are right. And that's why they got it wrong. You must never ever listen to those who say you are right against the courts of South Africa, against Chapter 9 institutions of South Africa. Those are the institutions which are meant to defend our democracy, and they will forever guide us. So, President, there are people who served long in cabinet from Mandela's time. I have nothing against them. And I don't know why they don't make your work easy by coming to you and say we are not available, maybe as advisors, so that they give room to new ideas. Comrade President, Stellenbosch is a big problem. We know your proximity to Stellenbosch. We know your proximity to Oppenheimers. We have not elected Oppenheimers. We have not elected Stellenbosch yet. I told your predecessor in 2011 that we have not elected the Guptas. We elected him. And he must lead us. He refused to listen to that. We're warning you, President. We have not elected the Ruperts yet. We have not elected the Oppenheimers. Listen to the collective wisdom of people you are elected with, not white monopoly capital. It will not be here to defend you. Once you listen to white monopoly capital, you must know that you are likely not to finish your term. All the best, President. We are here. We are watching you, and will continue to engage you openly, not in secret. Thank you.
After then, things start becoming even more sour for the two politicians. And it happened that there were some allegations against the President of the Republic of South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa, whom they were a couple of money. We are talking about 500 million rand, which disappear from his farm, which called Pala Pala. And there were a couple of questions which the opposition political party have raised in the parliament against the President Ramaphosa to come and give answer. And one of these politicians was Julius Malema, who was complaining already, telling the president to kindly and respectfully retire from the office. And he tried to make a couple of noise about it.
President Ramaphosa's problems are far from over. The Pala Pala farm burglary has opened a can of worms for the president legally and politically. The EFF leader Julius Malema claims there are more incidents of the president being involved in allegations of money laundering, racketeering and illicit money flows.
I want to warn a president, because there is more. There is more. There is more where money is counted in the plane. There is more where money in dollars with faces of people is counted in the plane. Let them continue to push Fraser. There is more that these people have been doing in this country, bringing money illegally, engaged in money laundering, in illicit financial flows without being held accountable.
The EFF has also submitted questions to Parliament to which the President must respond within 10 working days. It includes questions on how much was stolen, in what currency, and if there are other places where the President has stored cash. Going forward, Ramaphosa could face a challenge when addressing Parliament, as the EFF has threatened to treat him like former President Jacob Zuma.
Regardless of what Julius Malema was asking President Cyril Ramaphosa for him to excuse himself from the office because of all these allegations that are against him, the President of Republic of South Africa, President Cyril Ramaphosa, could not do that. As I always tell you that, guys, there is no any politicians out there who's in power and would like to live out of their own willing if it is not because of the constitution. So President Cyril Ramaphosa did not respond back to all these questions, or maybe try to say something about what this man was doing in his house. So just because the EFF with Julius Malema, they did not get the appropriate answer as they were expecting from the President of the Republic, then they decided to start making the life of President Cyril Ramaphosa even more miserable in the Parliament. As the previous Parliament, which took place in February, it was all about kill and shot, because the EFF had to sabotage President Ramaphosa while he was busy giving the speech in the Parliament. We saw how Julius Malema, he had to first interrupt the President while he was busy giving his speech.
Speaker of the National Assembly.
Honorable Malema, what is the point of order?
You asked Mr. Ramaphosa to sit down first. I'm standing. No, when a point of order is called, Speaker, the Speaker must sit down. You can't have two speakers standing at the same time. Please follow the procedure.
Honorable Malema.
I'm rising on Joint Rules 14S. And we can't both stand, Speaker.
Honorable Malema, I asked you, you said you have a point of order.
Yes.
And I said, what is the point of order? And I allowed you to go ahead.
But please, Speaker, in terms of procedure, the President must sit down.
I will order the President to sit down if I feel it is necessary for him to do so. I will. No, sit down, honorable members.
Honorable Speaker, it's not the rules. That's not how it works. Honorable Speaker, I think we are, as honorable members, violating the joint rules of this House by allowing Mr. Ramaphosa to speak here, because he has taken this Parliament to court. And by taking this Parliament to court, he has passed a motion of no confidence on this Parliament. And he can't have his cake and still eat it, because until the court has resolved on the dispute between us as Parliament and him, he's got no leg to stand before us as a legitimate body to address us. And therefore, I ask that the Speaker should actually declare this meeting closed, because he had no right even to convene us to come here. How can he convene the people that he has taken to court? And in that court, Speaker, you are the first respondent. Effectively, he has taken you to court. And that if he wins this case, it means that this body has acted unlawfully against him. We have a matter with him before court, and the right thing to do will be that we should allow the court to make a ruling before we can interface in the manner we're doing, because the President has declared a motion of no confidence against his own Parliament, something that has never happened.
Thank you.
President Mbeki can confirm that since 1994 we have seen this mess with what is before us now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Malema. This session has not been convened to discuss any other matter other than the one which I have just stipulated. Allow us, Honorable Malema, to allow the President to present his State of the Nation. I also would not want us to have a dialogue, honorable members. Yes.
With due respect, Honorable Speaker, you cannot say that this event is called only to perform one item only. If that was the case, the joint rules were not going to allow the point of orders. Though the founders of this parliament knew that there might be a necessity, even when we are convened in this manner, for members of parliament to raise issues that are damaging the image of this institution. And I've raised that matter, and I would like you to consider it and not just dismiss it on the basis that we are here to listen to one item only. The rules were not going to provide for point of orders if we are only subjected to listen to one item. And therefore, I think the Speaker is out of order in that regard.
Honorable Malema and honorable members, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, stopping the President from addressing the House.
Was that all? No. Because after the ANC as the ruling party and the majority in the parliament, they were more determined to allow the President Cyril Ramaphosa to go ahead and finish with his speech. Well, we also EFF leader Julius Malema standing up and jumping to the altar in order for him to prostrate in front of President Cyril Ramaphosa, which caused another big drama that we saw in this year, 2023.
If you don't want to listen to Sona, please, you may simply walk out and wait for us outside. I now give a notice, and I'm going to call you one by one. And Sergeant in Arms, you will help me to remove or usher out people who do not want to be part of the debate. That is where we are now. Honorable Shivambo, Honorable Malema, Honorable Mente, Honorable Mawutwe, Honorable Dlamini, Honorable Ndlozi. I don't need to be assisted to chair, please. Dear Kenny, let me deal with my mess right now. It's mine. Leave me to deal with it. Honorables, the ones I've just called now, you can leave the house. Now. Sergeant in Arms, leave the house. Honorable members, you are refusing to leave the house? Thank you. I now suspend the proceedings. I now suspend the proceedings. Security services, you may intervene. Security services of the Republic of South Africa, you now come into the chamber and remove the members. The business is suspended for the next 10 minutes. Honorable members, the ladies of the PPS, honorable members, the ladies of the PPS, will you please remove the ladies?
Since then, the EFF leader Julius Malema never want to recognize the sovereignty of President Cyril Ramaphosa as the president of South Africa anymore. Since this incident took place, the EFF with their leadership, they never recognized the presence of President Cyril Ramaphosa as the president.
We will treat him the same way we have treated Zuma. He must leave the office with immediate effect because he has not respected his oath of office. Everywhere and anywhere where we find Ramaphosa or we see Ramaphosa and we have an opportunity to stop him from speaking in the name of South Africa, we will do so. We call upon all the fighters and the ground forces to start treating Ramaphosa as such. We will start on Thursday and it will be wire until he let go of that office. That office must be occupied by a man of integrity, not a hypocrite, not a man with double personalities. In front of cameras, he's something else, and behind cameras, he's buying silence of girls not to speak. We will not allow that.
Since the day when this incident took place, the EFF leadership with Julius Malema, they never recognized President Ramaphosa anymore. Since then, they've been calling him Mr. Ramaphosa instead of calling him Mr. President of the Republic of South Africa. And they have tried to shoot him in a very different way, politically of course, and try to make sure that the president have to come to the parliament and give the answer in the parliament. They put a lot of pressure until when the parliament decided to investigate these matters further so that they will see whether the president Cyril Ramaphosa will come and respond back to the parliament or not. But later on, after this group of the parliament investigations came with the full report saying that according to what they had found, the president have some answer to give to the parliament. Therefore, it was an open door which is supposed to be allowing the President of the Republic to come inside the parliament and give the answer to all these questions. But when they supposed to do that, they had to vote in the parliament so that the president can come and give the answer to the questions which the EFF they were asking him or not.
Tomorrow in Parliament, we call on all members of Parliament to do the right thing. Do not vote against the Constitution in defense of a criminal. We must vote for the Constitution. Tomorrow's vote is the vote for the Constitution. Tomorrow's vote is for the vote of that signature of Nelson Mandela that he attached in 1996. If you vote against that, you are voting against the founders of this Constitution, who said to us, any president who behaves in a criminal manner must be subjected to impeachment process. They were not crazy when they said that. So let's not doubt the founders of this Constitution. The Constitutional Court had very harsh words against Parliament for not holding the executive, in particular the president, accountable. Let's not repeat the same mistake. Tomorrow, let's vote with our conscience, not with the party mandate.
And as they were voting, there again, we saw another drama inside the South Africa Parliament when the parliamentary, they were busy voting, and we saw this happening.
I vote no.
I vote no.
The answer is no.
The vote is no.
I vote no.
Angivumi.
As a disciplined member of the ANC, I vote no.
No. No. No. No. No.
No. No.
No. Cha.
With my conscience, I vote no.
No.
Cha. Angivumi.
Uno omkhulu. Hayi andizi. Hayi.
Angivumi somlomo.
Hayi unotshe.
Dlamini Zuma, NC.
As a disciplined member of the ANC, I vote yes.
Order, honorable members. Order. Order, honorable members. Order, honorable members, please.
Malema, JS.
Yes.
Shibambu, NF.
The vote is yes.
Mende, NV.
I vote yes.
Yes, those who have voted yes, 148. And those who have voted no, 214. Abstain, hold on, honorable members. Abstention 2. And therefore, the section 891 inquiry will therefore not be proceeded with. I thank you, honorable members. That concludes the business of the day, and the House is adjourned.
Again, the EFF with Julius Malema, they failed their target regardless of all the pressure they were putting on the ANC government. So what was the next move? Well, they had to demonstrate now their power in the field because they want to show the world that there is a political party in South Africa with their leader who have something to say on what is happening. And they have to come and call for the national shutdown. You all saw that national shutdown was something which had really, well, at the beginning, it was just something that no one paid attention to it, especially the ruling party, which is the ANC in their government. They never even pay attention to it. But as time goes by, we saw how this national shutdown become a headline of the country. Everyone, each and every social medias, even in the government, they were now talking about it, and it start now dividing many South Africans out there because there were those who feel like we are tired with this kind of things, where unemployment, electricity, load shedding, whatsoever, and other people, they were like, no, this national shutdown, it will cause our country because we are going through a lot already, and we don't need to allow Julius Malema to come with his people to call for this national shutdown. So it was criticized by everyone. We even saw some people coming on social media trying to threaten Julius Malema with their people so that they should not go ahead with this national shutdown, because according to them, in their mind, they believe that this national shutdown, it was gonna give other black South African in order for them to loot the country. So if that had to happen, it will kill the economy of the country.
My man, on the 20th of February, there is no national shutdown. We are not going to be dictated by politicians. How we move, they say jump, we say how high. Those days are over. Those days where people are hypnotized by politicians, those days are over. Politicians, your time has run out. Autoblela ke Malema or ka di 20 country ya kwala. Ke ma Malema yena. Who is he? Malema tshwana le mme wa ko next door. It's just a normal citizen of this country. Ska to re blella. I want to talk about Malema country akwa, do this, do that. How about a country kwala ntate? We need election, ube governing, ube governor South Africa, ube president. President ya political party how? Ya batho ba 10 yana. Malema, you don't have real numbers. Number one, hana di number Malema. Skamplela ka hired crowd ya paranthote ready. Majority ya batho ba teng ke batho ba tswang ko ntle, ba tlatsa di stadium nyana tse nyane mo ba tswa ko ntle. Samuetsa audit to shebe ma South African e mara EFF dololo, and that is simple. Like ke bile ke joke ke tshegisi ka yena ke bua nnete. Why a letsatsi la o vote a sa thole di number tse re di bonang every day? Hey, hona le o ba le ready man, ho tla le ka re ho tla etsa something. Voting day, every voting day, come voting day, ibile le blello re ya lena nnete. A itebetse re crowd ile ne hirilwe ka di base. Emana re bana rona rana strata re ntsa strata laba ka re una le eng ko Soweto, EFF etsa eng ko Kliptown. How ba sheba batho ba teng as batho ba Soweto, the hired crowd coming to Soweto, ebe project ka rona le support ko Soweto. E re tlebeleng le lona South Africans but mo EFF la para di keeper le tseba hantle. Let me ask a question. Where's Malema when your kids are dying and suffering from Nyaope? Where's Malema in the township when there's no electricity in the township and you are being abused by Eskom? Where is Malema? Where's Malema when your children are sitting in street corners and there's no progress? They're sitting in the same street corner for 7 years. Where's Malema? Making a noise somewhere. We are really unemployed now in our majority as young people.
We also even saw the DA represented by their leader, Mr. John, who had also to go to the court to ask the court that he should tell Julius Malema to stop to go ahead with this national shutdown. And if something had to happen that day, that would be on the head of EFF leader Julius Malema. Regardless of all this threat that they were trying to put against Julius Malema, the many also came back to respond back to them and insist on calling people that they should come and respect this day as it will be called the national shutdown. Julius Malema was even more determined, saying that national shutdown, it will take place in this country.
National shutdown 20 March. We don't apply for nothing. We can't apply for that which is given to us by the Constitution. It is our constitutional right to protest, and we shall protest on the 20th of March. Like Sharpeville, we're not scared of the state power. Let the state come with its power, will come with the mass power. So everything is going to come to a standstill. We don't want to see a single truck moving. We don't want to see a single train moving. We don't want to see a single bus moving unless it's taking people to the picket lines. The trucks and the trains, more in particular, Richards Bay. Those ones who are taking our minerals out of our country through Richards Bay. On the 20th, if you know what is good for you, park your trucks in your depots. The unrest of Zuma is going to look like a Mickey Mouse. Musina, there will be nothing that is moving. From Musina to Cape Town, nothing will move except ambulances and hospitals, doctors and nurses and police, only emergency services. And emergency services include you who's asking about people's rights. You will be covering nicely the protest of the EFF on that day. We are unstoppable. South Africa has been waiting for too long. We are mobilizing every corner of our country. Ramaphosa must step down with immediate effect. And our electricity must be returned.
There is more activities that the organizations of Julius Malema have done in this year. But as we promise you to only summarize the big main point that we have chosen to show you together so that you'll have a closer idea on how the year 2023 looks like for the president of EFF, Julius Malema. Guys, it is in this same year that we saw the EFF celebrating their 10th anniversary. You all know that if you give birth to a child and the child who can be the same age as the one of EFF of Julius Malema, that deserve a big celebration. And the EFF leader with their people, they had to celebrate the 10th anniversary. But through that 10th anniversary, a lot was being said through his speech. Without delay, I want you first to watch this report.
The EFF celebrated a significant milestone in 2023. The party marked its first decade of existence. The main anniversary celebrations were held at the FNB Stadium in Soweto in July. The EFF members and supporters came from across the country and painted the 90,000 capacity calabash a sea of red. Its charismatic leader, Julius Malema, seized the opportunity to deliver a fiery, promise-filled address that culminated in a Caesar lift, ending in a mic drop.
Let us not get tired. Let us not retreat. Victory is certain. Once you guys get tired, once you guys become lazy, once you become reluctant to fight, you must know the enemy has won. I will never get tired. No one can make me tired. I march forward to the victory of our people. The revolution in South Africa is guaranteed that under the EFF, this country will be the better. Stand up, South Africa. Make sure that South Africa, you are counted with me. Rise, South Africa. stand and make sure that our people understand that they need to be counted. You must be counted. You must be part of history. You must make sure that you are one of the people who are going to deliver economic freedom in our lifetime. Freedom in our lifetime. Amanda!
Julius Malema told the thousands gathered that his party's core governance of several municipalities, including the Johannesburg and Ekurhuleni metros, have served as fertile ground in preparing his organization to lead nationally.
When we take over all the informal settlement in Ekurhuleni Tunga shall be formalized, and once we formalize them, we will give them water, we will give them electricity, we will build proper houses for our people all over Gauteng and all over South Africa. In the EFF, we support the LGBTQ plus community. There is no EFF that hates gays and lesbian and transgender and how people want to define themselves. Professor Lumumba's ideas are his own ideas. We don't agree with him. He's our brother. We can disagree with him in a respectful manner. But these clowns that go around saying they support the LGBTQ plus community, yet they support Ramaphosa, who hosted Museveni. Museveni who signed a law that is not progressive. Those people are pretentious. They must not be supported or even be listened to.
Some political commentators expect the ANC to fall below 50% in next year's polls. This means the EFF is likely to play a crucial role in determining who governs the country.
As a politician, Julius Malema succeeded to achieve a lot of things in a short time of period that many more politicians could not be able to succeed. Myself, I'm well familiar with many politicians in Africa, especially in the opposition political parties, who've been stuck on one place for many years without even going forward. Guys, you know, it's not easy to start a political party and then turn it into something bigger as the one we are seeing with EFF. But they managed to do that. So, like it or not, they deserve a round of applause when it comes to that part. So, guys, that was only in South Africa politics. But what about in the international politics? Julius Malema is one of the true Pan-Africans that want to see Africa benefit its own minerals. Is one of those Africans who want Africa to be united, who want to see Africa having one language, who want to see Africa having one army, who want to see Africa having one currency, because he believes that without these things happening in Africa, Africa will keep on suffering. In order for Africa to develop, in order for Africa youth to have even more jobs, we need first to associate ourselves with the Western power, which he called the open eye master system. We need to chase these people from Africa politics, from Africa affairs, and then remain among ourselves. If there's a problem, we can sit down and talk as siblings and not as enemies. So Julius Malema, he had been passing this message in many platforms that whenever he take a word to speak in behalf of African.
We need peace and to silence the guns in Mali, in Burkina Faso, in Sudan. We need to openly, as a glorious movement, say that another African must never enjoy seeing a blood of another African. What is happening in Eastern DRC is highly unacceptable, where more than 12,000 people are killed and the world is not saying anything. We need peace in the Eastern DRC. We don't have to fight over expanding territories into Mozambique, into Central African Republic, into Congo Brazzaville. into Zambia, including infiltrating Benin, because Africa is one. Why do you want to extend your territory as a country? For what? Because we want one Africa with one currency, with one military, with one judiciary, with one president of the United Republic of Africa. We need Africa to be bigger in order to fight all of these people.
These people to come out. Because we are not going to read this memorandum without this imperialist and murderers come outside. And if they don't come outside, we are not going to live here until they come outside. So they must stop wasting our time. We are not here to play games here. If they think we are part of the nonsense they've been doing in West Africa, it stops here. We are not West Africa. And we're not going to allow that nonsense. We come here peacefully. And we want the France embassy to act peacefully and not provoke us. So they must come outside and receive the memorandum. Otherwise, we are not going to start. Otherwise, we are not going to live here. And by not living here, they will not live here. We are going to divide ourselves. Others will go and occupy the main road there. And others will occupy the gate of France embassy. So stop wasting time.
It was very clear that the war is not between Israel and Palestine. The war is between America and Palestine, because Israel is a military base of America in the Middle East. Therefore, when we demand the freedom of the people of Palestine, you must know that the real enemy is USA. And it must be made very clear that America is the one that is killing children. America's civilized democracy is the one that undermines the international law. America that is civilized is the one that is killing women in Palestine.
Again here, you will see that Julius Malema is a man who's not afraid of any individual out there. He speaks his mind as it is, regardless of who's concerned in all these matters. Julius Malema, he have proven to the world and the entire Africa that we need at least to be more honest in what we are saying. People can call us names, people can criticize us, people can intimidate us, but as long we stand by the truth will always remain the truth regardless of what. Julius Malema is there and is looking forward to upcoming election in 2024. This is another thing that we would like to discuss with you very soon, because it's something that we are all awaited, as the temperature are very high in South Africa politicians, where we see some more new political parties are coming out like a mushroom, and we are having opposition political parties which have already signed some of an agreement as an opposition political party to work in the coalition. So on other side, we are having opposition political party also which are also fighting for their own advantage. We shall wait and see in next year elections, which will be here to bring you even more analysis through that. So guys, you see that this is how the year 2023 looks like for Julius Malema as the president of EFF and one of Pan-African that we are having in our daily time. So guys, that will be all for today. I hope you find this video more informative to you and more beneficial. Do us a favor, please, before you leave, make sure that you hit that like button so that this message can reach even to more people out there. And if this is your first time, you want to know what we talk about in this platform, of course, we are Pan-Africans group where we get to discuss about what is happening in Africa continent. We try to make sure that Africa stand on its own and face the rest of the world. We want to see Africa getting to develop. We discuss about matters that are benefiting Africa in general. So if you don't want to miss this kind of videos, well, it's very simple. Just hit that subscribe button so that whenever we are here live, we'll be able to catch up with us through this platform. For now, continue to be yourself, be good, be kind, have respect for everyone in order for you to be respected. May God bless you all. I'll see you again very soon. Ciao, ciao.